Hey, welcome back everyone. It is now March 20th of 2020, and ever since the release of Star Wars The Rise of Skywalker, a lot of fans around the world have been very curious about the future of the Star Wars franchise by Disney and Lucasfilm, and exactly how, of course, Disney and Lucasfilm are going to handle everything Star Wars related throughout this entire year into next year of 2021, and so on and so forth. This is Mike Zero. Make sure to subscribe if you are new to the channel for future Star Wars content. Now, the one thing about the future of Star Wars is that we do know that Disney is very much hard at work on developing a brand new Star Wars universe that's going to reunite the Star Wars fans around the world, and something that is also going to really deliver something quite unique for Star Wars fans. Anything ranging from Star Wars movies to TV shows, books, novels, and comics, that's all going to interconnect with each other that will be modeled after the MCU, so that's one thing to look forward to. The other thing is everything to do with Kathleen Kennedy and her creative control and her power at Lucasfilm drastically being changed, all thanks to the new Disney CEO, Bob Chapek. Now, the good news about all of this is that this is going to be a telltale sign that all of the Star Wars material, whether it's movies or TV shows, are going to have a different tone to it all once we go ahead and watch this material on Disney Plus or in theaters. So that's the thing here, is that a lot of changes are being made by Star Wars, of course, by Disney and Lucasfilm for the Star Wars franchise. And what's really intriguing is that now that both Disney and Lucasfilm are finished with the Skywalker saga, they are focused on their new Star Wars trilogy of films as well as their new Star Wars universe. It's noted that both Disney and Lucasfilm are developing many plans in order to reunite the fans around the world, where it's noted that both Disney and Lucasfilm are making drastic changes to the Star Wars franchise, and that the new Disney CEO, Bob Chapek, is bringing in new creatives over at Lucasfilm. It's noted that behind the scenes, Kathleen Kennedy recently lost more power over at Lucasfilm, all thanks to the new Disney CEO, Bob Chapek, for allowing Dave Filoni to create the roadmap of the new Star Wars TV shows to be released on Disney Plus. Now, it's noted that Dave Filoni is reworking the roadmap of the new Star Wars TV series and exactly when they will be released throughout this entire decade, and that as of now, Kathleen Kennedy is only in charge of the roadmap of Star Wars movies strictly, where it's explained that Dave Filoni is taking over the TV shows for Disney Plus and how they should be marketed as well, something that Kathleen Kennedy originally was in charge of that is now taken away from herself. This is Chapek's attempt to create a brighter future for Star Wars in general, and to reunite the fans in general. As of now, Kathleen Kennedy no longer has control over the roadmap of future Star Wars TV shows and how they will be laid out on Disney Plus. So this is excellent news in my book, because this tells us, the Star Wars community, that everything is really making a massive shift for the Star Wars fans, right? We can see that Disney is really hard at work on developing this new Star Wars universe to really kickstart things in the right direction. Now, Dave Filoni, I'm quite sure that you guys have heard the news today, is that he is the one who actually made it possible for a live-action version of Ahsoka Tano to actually enter into the Star Wars universe, and that he wants Rosario Dawson to actually portray the role in The Mandalorian Season 2. So that was his first big step to really kind of changing how Star Wars is going to really transition, right? And how it's going to borrow elements from the animated TV series Star Wars Rebels and the Clone Wars to be transferred over into live action. So that's the big step, is that they want to take animated TV series and those characters into the live action version of Star Wars. Not just that though, but Dave Filoni does now have full creative control over how the roadmap of the live-action TV series for Disney Plus will be handled. So that's one great thing about this, is that Dave Filoni is in control of all of this, and that we can all thank Bob Chapek as well for making these big changes and even allowing a live-action version of Ahsoka Tano. This honestly makes me more interested in The Mandalorian Season 2 than ever before, given the fact that Dave also is trying to bring back Luke Skywalker into the mix in the second season of The Mandalorian that's going to be used by a de-aged Mark Hamill. And not just that, you can see also that at the end of the day, Kathleen Kennedy was not right for Star Wars. They see this now. We can see her power reducing month by month, and eventually it's just going to lead to the point where she actually is planning to leave later this year of 2020, where that's going to be the big change over at Lucasfilm. So Like I've said before in the past, I think that Dave Filoni is the true protege of George Lucas. You know, we've called him that for years on end, that he is indeed the protege of George Lucas. He really is. Because of what he did with the Clone Wars, and because of how closely he worked with George over the years. I mean, it's just pretty much an obvious choice to have Dave take control of the roadmap of these Star Wars TV shows and more. He's a great director, he's a great showrunner, and that's exactly all you really need for Disney Plus and their Star Wars TV shows to come, right? So with that being said, guys, you know, let me know what you think about everything here before in the comments below. And if you guys did enjoy the content for today, do make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel. I thank you all so very much for the kind support, and I'll catch you guys next time.